You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Teen Mom 2. I was going to say OG because I'm so used to saying that. But we missed you guys last week. There was a blizzard here on the East Coast. So, we couldn't really go out in that. But we're back, and today we're going to do a rundown and a review and a recap of Season 5 and 6, so last week and last night's episode, so last week and this week. Last week's episode was called Shutting Down, and this week's episode is called Cry It Out. I love their little...
How they connect.
Yeah, it always makes sense. But okay, without further ado, I'm your host, Mackenzie Fain, and with me, I have the lovely Karina.
Hi, guys.
What's going on? So, there's a lot to discuss. Obviously, like I said, we're going to try and do these 2 episodes, so get it all in there for you guys. Don't mind me. I'm going to engineer here and host, and...
She's doing it all.
We'll get it all in. It's no big deal. So, gosh, this shirt's bothering me. But, all right, so... last week we'll start out, so we're going to start out with each girl. So Brianna last week, John visits, he comes to visit. I know you guys already know this, but for those of you who would like to keep up with these recaps, we're just going to do the same old thing. So, Shirley's Brianna's friend. She thinks that they really need to establish what they are. John and Brianna, he needs to say, what's going on, if they're together, whatever. Yeah. They picked up John from the airport, and they actually kissed this time, which cute. Last time they didn't. I thought it was funny in one of the parts. He's like, he gets in the car and he's like, "All right, Shirley, drive. Nice to meet you." Like, I was like, okay. But they play charades, and it was weird to me that it was just the 3 of them. Like, it was just Brianna, her girlfriend, and John.
Yeah, a little weird.
Isn't that? I was just like, couldn't we add a couple more friends or like, I don't know. I just thought it was, right?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But aside from them and how they're trying to define their relationship, I always think that's important to know where you stand with one another. It's awkward and it's hard, but like, people need to define the relationship at some point. It can't just be like loosey-goosey and like up in there. It has to be like solid, especially when you have like a kid together.
No, they don't have a kid together? No.
So okay.
This is John, the new boyfriend.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
and especially because there's like her kid involved, like it's nice to know like
her 2 kids. Yep.
Yeah, where he stands with everyone.
Well, so he hasn't met them. He hasn't met them yet. Oh. Like they're not even. This is the first time. Yeah.
So it's like new.
Very.
Forgot.
New.
Yeah, it's new.
Yep.
Okay.
So, I know at one point John says, I love kids. But they're annoying, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But we know what we thought of him the week before and like the whole thing. But, so Brianna says, how do you feel about dating someone with kids? And he said he's scared of the baby daddies. Like, I just thought that was so odd that was his comment.
I think that's also like a childish comment too. Like, that's what you're worried about. You're not worried about the kids liking you, if you're gonna bond with them or not. Like, he shouldn't be focused on, like, the baby daddies.
I just thought it was a cop-out. I don't know about you guys watching, but, comment below what you thought of that comment, because I just thought that was such a cop-out.
I didn't like it either.
Yeah, so then we move on to this week's, where a few days ago, Brianna noticed Stella was having trouble moving one of her arms. So she rushed her to the hospital, and they found out that she had a bacterial infection and needed emergency surgery. They stayed in the hospital. It was like this whole big thing. I can't
imagine that, like, when you're a parent and that happens and it's so, like, quick and you have to, like, react and get to where you need to go. And it's just, I honestly can't imagine being in that situation.
I know, seriously. So I guess it's septic arthritis, an infection in the joint of her shoulder, which is just insane. Antibiotics for like a month or 2. That just,
I wonder how she even got the infection in her shoulder to begin with. Like, that's an interesting spot to get it.
And yeah, definitely. Wow. I have no idea. But one thing that did strike me as so odd was one of the things Brianna kind of complained about in a sense was she was just saying her sister's out of town. So she's like, it's just a lot for me and my mom to just handle on her own. And it's like, I understand that for all of her children's lives, she's had 2 support systems, not just one, like not just a husband or just a boyfriend or something like that. Like, but I just thought that was funny.
It's a lot to handle, but she's got to get used to it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, your kid, got to do what you got to do. No complaints.
Yep. Stella's father finds out about this, and he's just nowhere to be found, doesn't really reach out, shows no interest, which is really sad. But it was nice to see Nova go to her dad, Devon's, with her grandma, with Bree's mom, and he had a nice place.
Yeah, he did.
I thought it was really nice, and they played video games together. So overall, I thought that was good. You know, it was a step in the right direction. I thought it was nice for Bree to let her go on a time where she could use the distraction.
Yeah.
And so it was nice. So we get on to Kale. Now, last week we see Isaac starts 3rd grade. He's getting on the bus, and all that good stuff.
Cute. So cute.
So Kale signed a large check to invest in her Pothead company, which is this hairline product. Talks to her friend about starting a relationship with her sister, which we know evolves because, in this episode, she's helping her sister plan her baby shower. Yeah. And it was really cool. She got so excited about it. She kept saying it. And she kept saying, I'm just so excited to be an auntie. And then it just was so awkward to me. Like, I would feel so awkward if I was that sister because she shows, as they're FaceTiming, she shows, like, Lux for the first time on FaceTime to her sister. Lux is over a year. Lincoln's 5. She hasn't seen him since he was 2.
Yeah.
So there's really no connection there, and it must be so, like, crappy of a feeling to be like, yeah, my sister has, like, 3 children, not babies, not infants, like children that I have no part of their life. And the second I'm, like, pregnant, my sister jumps all over it, and she's so
and excited to be an auntie, but her sister didn't get to be an auntie for her kids.
I don't think she didn't get to be. She never even tried.
Never tried.
She was never that excited. Like, this baby, like, brought that out of Kale, and I thought that was really nice.
No, yeah, totally.
But there's still no relationship with Lauren and Javi. As far as Kale's concerned, she's like, I don't have any reason to talk to them. There's no, they're having their baby, like, whatever. So she's like fine there. But it was nice. Lauren's very mature in the sense that she's like, I'll just, wait it out. It is what it is. Like, she's pretty much like, I literally am having your child. Yeah. The brother to her kid. So she's going to have to get over it at some point, which is true. And she does say, I can't wait until I can have a relationship with her like Joe and V have. Isaac's.
I like that.
Yeah.
That she's at least trying, or that, because eventually
she's
they're
thinking of
it and planning ahead, because they're going to have to coexist.
Yeah, and Kale's just like, I don't even want to talk to Lauren.
Not so mature on her point.
Nope. But, so Leah, we get into her house flooded last week, and she goes to Jason's house. The furniture, the air ducts, the basement, the office, everything is just ruined. Oh my
God. Flooding's like the worst thing to possibly happen. I know when, like, in the East Coast, when my grandma has like a flood, or like she's worried about a lot of snowfall or anything, it's like sends her into complete and total panic, because she has a hair salon down in her basement, and so that's where she does a lot of the hair. And when it gets flooded, and there's also no apartment down there, so it's just complete chaos.
Oh, that sounds miserable.
Yeah.
Oh. But it was nice that Leah was like, I appreciate the fact that we have like ourselves and our belongings and our things. Like, she's like, it's just a material thing. So
yeah, I
mean, it's your house, but it was nice that she saw that nobody died in it.
And no photos got ruined or any type of things that they love.
Yeah, so that was nice. Jason comes over and is, really helpful and ready to, like, do things. Mm-hmm. And he goes, like, you didn't really think that I would help you? And he's like, do you, like, kiss appreciate it? Like, I can get it. So I thought that was cute.
Yeah,
so can I have a kiss That's how appreciative, like, how much you appreciate it. She bought $4,000 worth of rugs and they got destroyed, like, months ago before the flooding, so that stunk. But then we get into last night's episode with Leah, and she's still dealing with the flooding damage, but we are having this whole issue with Jeremy, Addie's father, her youngest father. And he comes home after he's been gone for a few months. Now, she's so young. Like, she's like 4 or 5, maybe 4 or 5 years old.
And the dad's away for that long.
That's so sad. But so she's with him. This was so funny to me. I was literally cracking up laughing. I rewound it. Like, I was laughing so hard when this whole scene went over. So they're in the car and Addie's like, oh, Dad, look at this house. Like, she's looking at a magazine. And he's like, all right, enough of that. Like, what are your sight words? What are you learning in school? What words are you learning? What words are you on right now? And she's like, I know whiz. And he's like, what? And she's like, yeah, I know whiz. I know whiz. He goes, do you mean is? She's like, yeah, I know is. And then, like, it just got even funnier because then they went to get haircuts from Jeremy's mom, and she asked the same thing. She's like, what are your sight words? What are you learning? And she's like, yeah, I know whiz. And she goes, do you mean is?
Oh, that's the only word she remembers is that one word.
And it's not even right.
Yeah, it's not even right.
Whiz. I know whiz. But I think it's so funny still that Jeremy calls Addie sissy. Come on, sis. Come on, sissy. Because, like, when he was married to Leah, she was the little sissy.
Yeah.
So it made sense, but now I just think it's so weird. And I was thinking it the whole time. And when they go to leave, the grandmother is like, all right, bye, sis. So she looks her head back and she goes, and my name ain't sis.
Yeah, I remember that. So funny.
But he's leaving for another month and a half. And it's just like, this poor damn kid.
I wonder what the relationship's like between, like, the siblings themselves, and, like, 2 are from one parent and then one's from the other. And then one sibling goes to, like, their dad and the other one goes. Like, I always wondered how that, like, was.
Well, it's really
like,
sad
if the siblings, like, know that, like, they're from different parents, or do they care?
Yeah, they do. And it's really sad, like, I don't know, with Kale's kids, Isaac and Lincoln, they want to go to each other's dads. Like, Isaac will go to Javi's with Lincoln. He's even called his dad and been like, can I go to Javi's? Like, he has a really strong connection with him.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Jeremy's never around. So Addie will say to her mom, like, when she's dropping off the twins to Corey, Addie will be like, well, they get to go with their dad. Why can't I go with my dad? Where's my dad?
That makes me so sad.
I want to go with my dad. Like, she thinks it's like, this is the dad drop-off time. And she's like, mine's dad's not here and stuff. So it's really sad. But one thing that I just thought was so alarming was that all this time that Jeremy's gone, like, I get it. Like, you have to work. You're making this money. Maybe you love your job. I don't know, and that's fine. But at the same time, like, he's not even FaceTiming her. He's not even calling her, she's saying. And that's so, so bizarre.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a way to justify that. You love your job, you love whatever, but, like, your kid should be your number one priority. And the fact that you can leave and then pick her up and then, like, everything is fine where it left off, and you go get haircuts and you call her by her nickname, things, like, aren't fine.
She is getting, like, traumatized by it, I think. It's, like, really killing her. But, yeah, so Jason's really supportive, Leah's boyfriend. I think he's really supportive. I actually am really starting to like him. And
he's a bit older, too, right? Which is what I also like, that he is older and he has a kid and he's divorced as well. And, like, I like that dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, I do like it, but one thing, when he was talking to her about confronting Jeremy about this whole, like, him going to work, like, I just felt like he was dancing around what he wanted to say, and then it kind of, like, ended up like, you need to confront him. I don't know, I just didn't think
it's a hard situation to tell someone what to do with their ex, like, who's also, like, the baby daddy. It's like, where do you find that line? It's like Teen Mom OG with Cheyenne and her boyfriend and Corey. Like, it's like a very weird and delicate dynamic, and if you say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, you know, something happens.
Piss people off.
You can piss people off, and it affects the kids that are involved.
Definitely. I do think somebody needs to say something to Jeremy. I mean, just literally once a day, call her. Send her a text if you can't. Send her a picture of your face. You know, something like...
Jeremy's parents are the ones who should be telling him to, like, hey, can you call your daughter more, maybe as well.
I don't know if they know.
Maybe they don't.
But anyway, we get on to Chelsea. Last week it was her birthday, a few days away. She's just like, she said to Aubrey, she's like, the baby does not fit inside of me anymore, Aubrey. And I just thought that was so funny, like, to tell your kid. They have such a funny relationship. But she's 5 centimeters dilated. Aubrey stays over at Chelsea's mom's house. And it was so cute. They get in the car, and it's Chelsea's birthday, and they're on their way to the hospital. Yeah. And Cole is so cute, and he goes, oh my God, I got 2 girlies with the same birthday. Like, he's just so sweet. And then baby Lane is born, and she's just so cute little thing. Good thing we combined like last week's and this week's episode, because that's literally all I had for Chelsea for last week. Yeah. Moving on to this week, which is good that we have more content, because I had so much. I loved last night's episode of them. Yeah. I loved it.
I've always liked Chelsea too. She's like, I feel like the most grounded, the most like cute and spunky, and like I'm here with my kids, and like I don't know.
She's just so laid back and down to earth, and like, you know, it's so cool. Yeah. But comment below what you thought of Chelsea, because I did think it was a little dry this season so far. I know a lot of people have been saying that, but I thought last night's episode of her and Cole, and it was just so cute. But so we get into it. Cole, I guess they talk about baby Lane's delivery. Cole pulled her out. I guess he helped with Watson, but this time like he fully did it by himself, and
it's wild.
Yeah, he was just saying she was so slippery, and I was like, can somebody help me? Like. And he's like looking at the doctors and all this stuff. But I guess Chelsea was like, he cried the entire day after she was born. The entire day.
Oh my God. And that's like the reaction you want.
I know.
From like someone.
She's like, she goes, you know, why? What you know, what made you cry? Or one of the producers, and he's like, I just kept thinking of when Aubrey and Watson came to see them. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
But the pulling out the kid thing, that scene reminded me of when Kourtney Kardashian, every time she delivered a kid, she would pull it out. Yeah. Like herself, just reach down and pull out the kid. And I remember being like 12 watching that with her first one, and I was like, is that supposed to happen? Like,
I know. Like, it's like, well, I mean, one of my friends, she was giving birth in the car on her way to the hospital. Her husband had to pull over and deliver the full baby by himself, like literally no one around. So that was crazy.
Oh my God.
But so I was just dying when they talked about when Watson met little Lane, and Chelsea's like, he doesn't really care for the baby. Sometimes he'll pet her. Sometimes he'll come over and just pet her.
She's like, whatever.
But we see Chelsea in the life with a mom of 3 young kids, and she gets in the car to go pick Aubrey up. I don't know why this kid can't take the bus, but both kids are screaming, and it's just so typical. Like, that's so real. It's so real life, you know? And it's
I like when it's more real life instead of drama and fighting and yelling. When it's just real, mundane, ordinary. Like, you forget she's on a TV show for like 6+ years. And it's just her and her kids.
There's a few of these girls in this franchise that I would have no problem just like for stuff like kind of like the Truman Show, like literally just watching them live their life, like Macy, Kale, and Chelsea. I think for some reason I would not mind like just watching them.
Me either.
But so Aubrey gets in the car, and Aubrey says something, and Chelsea's like, all right, get in. I'm panicking. Yeah, I'm panicking. Like, it's just such a funny thing.
She's very honest.
They have such, the craziest relationship. Like, I feel like my mom would never be like, I mean, maybe she would, but it's so young to, like, put that on. Not that it's a big deal. I don't think it's bad at all, but it's just funny. Watson has to get surgery on his little ears, get his tubes in his ears.
Chronic ear infections, right?
Yeah. So, you know, it was really cute because you don't think of this very often, especially at Watson's age. Cole says, you know, I feel so bad because he doesn't even know.
Yeah, what's
like
happening?
They're getting up in the morning, they're going to the hospital.
How old is he again, Watson?
Like just 2.
Okay, so he's like baby.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah. That's a hard procedure too, to get like tubes in the ears. Like that takes a while. And, like,
no, I guess it's really quick.
Really quick,
really easy. The only issue that they have is, you know, obviously always putting somebody under.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a very routine, like, surgery.
I guess. And I remember he was saying it was so hard for him to, like, see his kid like that. And
yeah, so it was so funny, though. On the way to the hospital, Chelsea goes, all right, Cole, like, do you have any bad feelings about it? Because if you do, we're not going. If you have any bad feelings, so tell me right now, do you feel anything? Like, so funny. We're going to turn this car right around. So only one parent was allowed in the room, and Cole went. And I guess he was just so shaken up. He's like, watching that was the biggest mistake. I think he probably hates me now. But he doesn't. And it was really cute that he was there for
Again, can't imagine watching my child, like, in surgery. Like,
I
think I would totally tell the doctors off by accident. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
That's my kid. Be careful.
Well, it's just like putting him to sleep. I wish they could have done it in like a better way or something. Like,
no, I would rather put to sleep than like local anesthetic where he's awake but numb.
Oh no, that's not what I mean. I mean like, I guess he was kicking and screaming when they put the mask on him.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
like to hold him down, right?
Yeah. Couldn't they just have like talked to him nicely or things like that? I don't know. But so Janelle, we get on to her last week. Nathan gives Andre a hug, the TV guy. And Nathan says, so I forgot what it was. It was so weird. I just thought it was the oddest thing. But Nathan goes, I know people have pet names for their kids and everything. Like, they call Watson, like, Waddy and stuff. But Nathan's like, Papa Caca. Papa Caca. I'm like, what is happening?
What?
God. And it was really sweet. And it was just odd to me. Like, Kaiser was like, all right, can I go to Daddy's tomorrow? When he got with Janelle. And she's like, oh, no, we're going to go to Mommy's, you know, whatever. And he's like, I might start crying for Daddy. Like, he was just really... Yeah. To me, it was just another thing that I just don't think he likes. Like, I think Janelle loves him and she's a good mom. I really don't think she's bad and does anything. But I just don't think the household is safe and good for the kids to be in. And it doesn't seem like Kaiser's excited or really feels like he wants to be.
I think then when a kid shows like they don't want to be in a certain environment, to like listen instead of kind of forcing them to stay.
Well, he's so young. Like, he's like 3 years old, 4 years old.
But like, even like sometimes when you just know, and kids are the most intuitive, way more intuitive than adults are, and like they say everything that's on their mind. You can't tell kids they say whatever they want. Yeah, and like absolutely. They have the most truth. So if he wants to stay with his dad and it's a safe environment, why not let him for a little longer?
Well, they have so many issues. That's why they have so much like resentment and they hate each other and it's a whole thing. But Bab's starting to have problems with Janelle and it's like this whole thing. I guess Janelle's like complaining about her not giving her Jace again, and Babs just thinks that she's mad because David got fired from MTV and Janelle's shows up with David. MTV shuts down everything, and Janelle texted the producers and said, you're ruining my life, don't talk to me. Babs just says, like, I try to be polite, I try to talk to her.
They've always had such a complicated relationship since day one on like
16 pregnant.
Yeah, from like the absolute start till the end. I feel like certain things have changed in the relationship, but it's still like this volatile type of like combustive relationship, especially now when like the grandmother, who you don't really like, has custody of like your first kid. That's still bound to create a lot of like issues. Yeah,
definitely. So David starts a fight every time that that Janelle plans to go film. He doesn't even have a job, which is so crazy to me. And like Babs just gets upset. She's scared for Janelle.
Yeah.
Babs just like, maybe she needs to lose everything. If she loses everything, then maybe she can walk away from him.
Yeah.
So that was all last week. So we get into this week. Babs says her and Janelle are better and stuff. She says Janelle says the show's about my life. If I can't have my husband on it, then how is this about my life? And and how is he not included? And it's really stressful for her, which I totally get that it's stressful for her. I can't imagine. I'm sure he's making her life miserable.
Yeah.
But he doesn't even have a job, and this is her job.
Yeah.
So I just think that's so crazy.
It's like him interfering with it is like,
Yeah, it's such a big issue. But I did not like, sometimes the producers, like, I know what they're trying to do, and you can see it so clear as day sometimes. And this was one of those times. So when
they want to start, like, drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Janelle agrees to film, and she meets up with Babs and Kaiser and Jace. And Janelle sits down, and she just, like, starts talking about what she's gotten the kids into. Yeah, I just signed Jace up for soccer. I just signed Kaiser up for flag football. And then the producer jumps right in and was just like, so how difficult is it to film without your husband and stuff? And Janelle just goes off, and she's just like,
it's sad because producers, like, are technically, their job is to, like, make the show, whatever, but they also should care about, like, the people they're, like, filming. And I think that's really messed up that they would ask that, knowing that it would be a really tough question, and that she would get angry, which Janelle usually does. She snaps very easy, and they did that so blatantly, and I'm like, that's really not cool. So I agree with you.
At the end of the day, that's literally their job, is to get good content and make good TVs. But it's
she's
sad.
already going through enough, and she's already giving you enough content. Janelle has given decent content and drama for the past 10 years. You could let it go for just, like, a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, leave her alone just for a second.
Yeah,
Give the other girls some more drama. Take a little bit off of Janelle.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it's like, you can't get around the fact that that's, like...
I know.
It's so obvious what they're doing. It's crappy, but, I mean... But she just goes off, and, but it's just such a sticky situation.
And then she was
really
like,
David.
They don't see the real me, true. And I was just like, oh, man, that blows.
At one point, she's like, they don't even know, like, she's talking about the fans and the viewers. They don't even know my favorite food anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not why we are here. We are not here. She's like, they want to know about me. They don't. No, we do, but not like how you think that.
What's your favorite color? What's your favorite number?
I could do without, like, all the screaming and yelling and all that stuff, but, like, I do want to see, like, yeah, how do you navigate with Jace and your mom and Kaiser and Nathan and Ensley and David and, like, David's kids and, you know, your health issues.
It's a lot for her to handle.
Everything. But yeah, so we got through all the girls. That was a lot of stuff. So we have some news and gossip. Kale actually is on this new show called MTV called Game of Clones.
What?
And last week on Insta, she asked if she regrets going on the show, and she said she absolutely does. She regrets going on the show. She wished she didn't. She said the clones were great. They were funny. I guess it's a dating show where one celebrity like Pauly D goes on, Kale goes on, and they meet 7 lookalikes
of themselves.
No.
Oh.
Of one, like twins.
Oh.
Like 7 of you. 7 people that look like you, she comes in and dates. 7 people that look like me, Pauly D will come in and date. And, like, it's weird. I don't know.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I kind of want to check it, like, one episode out or something. But
I feel like they're running out of ideas for TV shows, for sure.
I don't know, but we'll see how it does. The new Lindsay Lohan one looks good. I haven't checked that one out.
It's not. But I've watched it. Poor girl. I wish it was going to be good, but it's not. It's just her, like, yelling at her employees who don't know how to do their job. And, like, should have been fired, but they're on a TV show.
Well, so next week we have for Teen Mom, Chelsea's mom says if something happens to Aubrey would go to Adam, which is so crazy and so true. Like, there's no really placement, anything in place but although Adam doesn't have custody, I don't know, it's just a whole sicky thing, but hopefully she figures that out. Bree filed for child support from Lewis. That's something she struggled with doing with Devon. I don't even think she ever did. So, I mean, it just shows that something's changed in her. A fire's been lit under, whatever.
She's had enough.
Yeah.
She's like, I've had enough.
Janelle goes to court about some Kaiser stuff with Nathan's mom and the accusations of abuse and all that stuff. So we'll see what happens with that. Jason talks about his first impression of Corey, the twins' dad. So I do want to hear about that. And then Kale fights over the phone with whom I'm assuming is Hobby.
Probably Hobby. Yeah.
But we'll see. So yeah, that's going to be pretty juicy to
Down
see.
pat.
But let's do the special segment quick because I forgot. It's called Teen Mom 2, Teen Mom You. So you just pick somebody who you think you related with, maybe as for a second personality, something like that in the show.
And someone who I don't.
Just someone that you do.
Just someone I do. Probably Chelsea.
Yeah, why?
Just because she's like spunky and like cute and like very like real. Like if someone asks me a question, I'm gonna tell you.
I think
in like a sweet way at least.
Yeah, I think I'd relate with Cole because he's so emotional and I can be so emotional sometimes. But
yeah, him too, I guess.
Yeah. But alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This was just packed full
Quite
of
the
2
episode.
episodes. Yeah. So we'll be back here next week for the Teen Mom 2. I always want to say OG. Teen Mom 2 episode. It will be the 7th episode, so we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Please like, subscribe. Where can we find you, Karina?
Karina.Ardaji on Instagram. Comment, talk to us. We want to hear what you have to say.
Yes, definitely. And you can find me on Instagram at Mackenzie Fain. Tune in next week, guys. We'll see ya.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever